Hey guys, welcome Beyond Limits group. And I have something for you, a little session that I think is cool because I was thinking about our name, Beyond Limits and Beyond Limits Living. And it came to me because years ago I used to start, I think I got it from a matrix energetics thing, but it's also a quantum physics thing, and it's an atomic bomb kind of thing. It's basically the space between the spaces. And, there's a lot of ideas around this in the scientific world and also in the spiritual world. And the idea is that in the empty space, there's infinite energy, right? I mean, they know that from a quantum physics atomic bomb kind of way, like the electrons are out there and then the nucleus with the protons and the neutrons, but the space has infinite energy. And so there's this thing, like when you think of, when I was thinking this morning about beyond limits living, like, we've got some great success stories recently from a couple of families, and they do a lot of big work to get things done for themselves and their families. And one of the things is to clear a lot of the inner game stuff, the mental, emotional, spiritual stuff. And what I think is happening, Jen says, it's really cool to notice your life. And I think it was Sage Robbins said something about it's good to live your life and not live your thoughts. Don't live your life, not your thoughts, and something like that. And so the idea here is, it's not like there's a limit and then you go beyond the limit to live like this. It's not like that as much as there's something in manual therapy called the interbarrier zone, and it's where the magic happens. So a lot of manual therapy, hands-on work, you take and you find a joint and you put it right at the barrier and then you manipulate it. You kind of push it. Here's the barrier, and then you go right to the edge, and then you give it a big push. Manipulation kind of stuff to force something. But there's a type of technique that Sharon G. Mateo developed, and she used what's called the interbarrier zone. And what that means is, here's the barrier. Look over here so you can see it. And you go up to the barrier, and then you back off just a little bit. And in that interbarrier zone, right before the barrier, there's something magic that happens. And it's kind of like a joint. Like you have a knee joint, and it's like this. And you think, how come the knee doesn't just compress and go bone to bone? And you think, oh, it's the fluid, the fluid in the joint. But when you push it down, if it was just the fluid, of course, would just squish out to the sides because there's a joint capsule that's, flexible. So it's not the fluid that keeps the joint apart. There's a joint space. And what they found is if the joint is lined up just so, then there's something called quanta energy that keeps that joint apart. Now, when you have a dysfunction in a joint and it's kind of askew, it shears, and the regular scientists that are studying stuff like this, they found that that's when the quanta collapses. And then it goes bone to bone, and then you get stuff wearing out. But if things are floating in this interbarrier zone, not to say static, but if it can move in this interbarrier zone, then there's a cushion between the bones, and that cushion has energy. And the energy, the quanta, is what keeps the joint having some space. And so it's kind of like an atom. The space has the energy. And so what we're going to do is put one point here, and you might feel this, and another point here. And I'm going to move whatever this is into your interbarrier zone. Let's go down here, and we'll get, my shirt has the Inukshuk on it. It's a bunch of rocks that are placed just like that at English Bay, looking towards Kitsilano there. And so we're going to just grab that, and we're going to put it in 3 planes to start with. We're going to go this way. You can feel that that's a little resistance. And we're going to go this way until we get to a float spot. So if we went any farther, it starts to go into kind of a funny spot. But if we go right there, it's floating. Now I'm going to go front to back, and that's a little resistance. That's a little resistance. Let's see. Right there, it's floating. You might feel that. Now we're going to twist, and let's see. That way is a little resistance. You might feel that. This way, and there's the float. And now we're going to compress a little bit. And there's a little resistance. We're going to pull the hands apart a little bit. And there's the float. And then we're going to just shear it. It doesn't like to shear that way. It likes to shear right there. So there's the float. And now we'll just kind of, what my friend Joe says when he taught me functional indirect, an osteopathic technique, is to, what did he call it? It's like you just kind of, what did he call it? Yeah, you just kind of wiggle it around a little bit till it's like right there. There we go. So in that float is the interbarrier zone. And it's kind of like being in the zone, like when you're just writing and all the stuff is coming out onto the paper or the computer, or you're playing tennis and you're just in the zone. Or all the ideas are floating through you and you're just like getting them all down of what to do. You're in the zone. There we go. Yeah. And we can all tell when we're in the zone, and we can all tell when we bump into little obstacles, some of them little, some of them big. Ooh. Yeah. And when you bump into the obstacles, what's cool is to go inside your body and just notice. And if you just go inside your body and just notice, watching, you know, watching, just noticing, just watching. There'll come a point when you've got this float kind of thing feeling going on. There we go. And then you can do some more watching. Noticing. And what you might notice is what you notice. Like, what is happening in your body? So that's happening. And so the interbarrier zone isn't a static thing. It's a flow thing. It's a flow thing. And it's noticing when you bump into the rocks in the flow, some of them little, some of them bigger. And then what do? You can notice that. So let me know if this helps. Let me know what you're noticing with this. Let's see what people are saying here. Hey, hi, Ilya. Yeah. And if you want more of this sort of thing, let me see. I'm going to give you a couple links. One is a masterclass on true healing, what I consider the guiding principles to true healing. And the other one is a way to clear the inner blocks, the mental, emotional, spiritual blocks, pebbles in the way of stuff. Some of them are more like rocks. So let's see, that's this one. And that stuff I give to my one-on-one clients, but I also just open it up so that anybody can get this module. So there those are. Hope this helps. Let me know if this helped you. If it did, give a little, click the like or heart button. Thank you, Ilya, for your heart. And if you think it could be useful for somebody, click share it, and let's get out there and live. Let's really live. Let's help the world get healed. All right, you guys, have a great Thursday. Let's see, I'm gonna click this off now. All right, bye now.